Welcome back for part 2 of Module 8, Lesson 3, where we're finding the area of a trapezoid. This time we get to actually use the trapezoid formula, I think. And moving through the slides here, let's see what they give us. They give us a trapezoid where you've got two bases, a 6 feet and a 10 feet, and a height of 5 feet. From there, what are they doing here? Oh, they're showing how you would flip it over. Yeah, and then you'd be able to figure out that you would need to have base times height divided by the two trapezoids. Yay, that goes back to the video lesson they just did. But instead, let's see what else we can do with this. The length of the base is going to be the 10 feet plus the 6 feet, also known as 16 feet. The height of the trapezoid, that's going to be the 5 feet. And so using the not big kid math approach to solving this, you would say that the 16 feet times the 5 feet, the base times height, that's going to equal to 80. That means the area of the parallelogram that was made by merging the two trapezoids together, that's going to be 80 feet squared. But we don't need the entire parallelogram. We only need one of the trapezoids, and that means we're going to take that 80 feet squared, divide it by 2, and that's going to give us an area of 40 feet squared for each one of those trapezoids. Now, that is a pretty good way of doing it, but if it was me doing it, I think I would rather use the actual formula, so I'm not have to draw and flip and do all kind of gymnastics with my trapezoid. So instead, I'm going to take the formula area is equal to 1/2 times the height times the sum of base 1 and base 2. We're going to plug in what we know. Remember, the first thing you have to write on your homework is going to be the formula. After I write the formula, I plug in what I know. I know my height is 5. I know my bases are going to be 10 and 6, but it really doesn't matter which order you put those in, because 10 plus 6 is the same thing as 6 plus 10. They both add up to equal 16 that you see here. Now you have choices. You could do 1/2 of 5, 1/2 of 16, or 5 times 16 for this step. The textbook's probably going to do it all at once, but if it was me doing it, I'd say 1/2 of 16 is 8, and 8 times 5, and that's going to give us the same 40 that they gave us for in the answer key in the previous problem. So once again, either way you go about it, you're going to have the area of 40. Unless your textbook gives you specific instructions in your homework, this is the approach I want you to take in solving your problems tonight. Now it's going to be your turn to solve extra example number 2. Go ahead and pause the video, solve this one on your own, and use that really cool big kid formula that I gave you. Alright, I've got my problem. My formula, of course, is going to be area is equal to 1/2 times the height times the sum of base sub 1 and base sub 2. From there, I'm going to plug it in as area is equal to 1/2. The height is going to be 8. That's actually going to make it easy for us. Times your bases are going to be 7 and 3 added together. There, from here I can take and say 1/2, use my order of operations, times the height, and then 7 plus 3. That's going to end up giving me 10. And now I get a choice. Do I want to take 1/2 of 8, 1/2 of 10, or do 8 times 10? I'm going to take 1/2 of 8. That's easy to do. 1/2 times 8 is going to be 4. And of course, 4 times 10, that's going to give me a final area of 40 meters squared. I'm going to jump back over here to the textbook. I'm going to type in my 40 meters squared right there. Check the answer, and it checks. That is the kind of supporting work I'm looking for on these problems. But what if it came to us as a word problem, like this one here that talks about Osceola County, Florida, not too terribly far from where we live, and that it resembles a trapezoid? What is the approximate area of that county going to be? Well, all we have to do is get our trapezoid formula, plug in what we know. We know it has a height of 51. We know it has a base of 48 and 16.4. They added those two together to get 64.4. Then they took and multiplied these three and got an approximate area of 1,642.2. Nothing hard about this. You're just converting the word problem and the picture they give you into an answer. And of course, you could put that 1642.2 here, but you know, I'm just not going to do that. Your textbook did ask, why is one of the sides going to be the height? Well, it's going to be the height because remember, your height is always going to be the distance between the two parallel lines of your trapezoid. Once again, it's going to be your turn. Go ahead and pause the video and work this problem involving the Kuwait flag. The Kuwait flag is composed of 3 trapezoids and a rectangle. 2 of the trapezoids are right trapezoids. The other one is an isosceles trapezoid. Right trapezoid meaning they contain a right angle, and isosceles trapezoid meaning that you have 2 sides have the same exact side length right here. Find the area of the green right trapezoid at the top of the flag. Unfortunately for us, they give us all the data we need to do that. So, plugging it in, we're going to start with our formula. Our formula, of course, says area is equal to 1/2 times the height times the sum of base sub 1 and base sub 2. That means we're going to have 1/2 times the height. That's going to be right there, the distance between our parallel lines, 2.1, times, I'm going to add up 12.6 and 9.4. Area is equal to 1/2 times my 2.1 times 9.4 and 12.6. It's going to be 13. That's going to give me 22. And now, once again, I get a choice. I can take and do 1/2 of 2.1, 1/2 of 22, or 2.1 times 22. And I'm going to end up doing 1/2 of 22, which is going to be 11, times my 2.1. And from there, unless I'm mistaken, that answer is going to be 23.1 units squared. And the way I did that, an old trick involving the 11s, when you end up having to multiply anything times the 11, you write down the first number, you write down the last number, and you add what's in the middle, and then boom, boom. So we should have 23.1 for our answer. Jump back over to the textbook here, type it in, 23.1, and check. The answer checks. Easy math. For example 4, we get to look at a zoom airplane, and it says each of the airplane's wings in the drawing are shown as a trapezoid. Find the area of one wing. Well, what we're going to need, of course, is we're going to need to set up our formula. Whoops, hold on, that's not where we wanted it to be. Here it is. They set up their formula. They plugged in their values, and on this one, the height is going to be your 16.5 feet, because that's your distance between your parallel bases. Your bases are going to be your 4.5 and your 6.3. They plugged that in. They added these two together to get 10.8, and when they multiplied it all out, they got 89.1, which of course you can take and plug in right there. It works just like the others we've been doing, so you take a minute and do extra example number 4 on your own, where you're going to find out the area that the goalie gets to play in a professional soccer game, or a hockey game. And now we get to the most challenging of the problems that they're presenting us with today, and that's because in this one, they're giving us the area of 108 feet square, they're giving us the two bases, and they want us to find the height. That means we're going to have to kind of work this backwards, isolating our variable, just like we've learned to do in previous lessons in this year. First of all, what do we know? We know what the bases are, and we know what the area is. What are we looking for? We're looking for the height, so that part checks. From there, we're going to work towards finding that missing value. You've got the formula, and when you take that formula, you can just plug in what you know. You know the area, 108. You know your two bases, 15 and 12. Now you have to take and work through it from there. 15 plus 12, of course, is going to be 27. So I'm going to take plug my 27 in. That's going to check. And now once again, there's some choices on how to do this. We could do half of 27. We could multiply both sides by 2 to get that out of the way. Let's see what they chose to do. They chose to take and say half of 27. And half of 27 is going to be 13.5, which gave them that. And then from here, they're out of choices. You have to finish isolating that variable by dividing both sides by that 13.5. They should show where they're doing it, dividing 13.5 on each side, but alas, they didn't. When they do that, you're going to end up getting, let's see here, we had 108 divided by 13.5. Yes, I'm cheating, I know. And that's going to give us a final answer that says the height is going to be 8 units. So from there, you could say that the height of that trapezoid is going to be 8 feet. All we're doing here is isolating the variable. You know how to do this. Don't get stressed out over it. And now it's time for you to work your last problem on the lesson before you start doing your homework. Go ahead and pause the video and do this one. Well, for some reason my supporting work didn't record a minute ago, so let me share with you what I did. I wrote my formula first. After that, I plugged in what I knew. I knew the area was 24. I knew the bases were 12 and 4. And I knew the height was what I was looking for. So I plugged all that in. Then I'm going to say 12 plus 4. That's going to equal to 16. And then from there, I said, well, 1/2 of 16, that was going to be 8. After that, I divided both sides by the 8 right here. These 8's divided out becoming 1. 1 times h was h, and 24 divided by 8, that gave me 3 for the final answer. Go ahead and get started on your homework now. Make sure you give me good quality supporting work so I can give you a good quality grade to go with it.